You're listening to WTJU live from the stage on this beautiful day here in Central Virginia, here in Charlottesville. And for those who can get to Charlottesville, you want to head down to the Jefferson Theater on the downtown mall this very night, Thomas Jefferson's birthday, for a celebration with Shovels and Rope, who are in town for a concert as they make their way all along the East Coast on this section of their tour. But tonight, that would be the 13th of April, is the time to get to Charlottesville especially. And they're nice enough to have stopped off here at the stage. So how about I get out of the way and y'all kick off with one, and then we can chat a little bit.
I would love to.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's do the show.
Let's do it.
Stumbling around the visceral plane, worn to my cosmic bones, call you on the telephone. I'm 1,000 miles away from you, and my call's not getting through. Couldn't leave well enough alone. Try to find a song to sing. I wanna hear some rock and roll tonight. I wanna hear the speakers ring. I wanna be strong enough to say I ain't afraid. And there's a black hole in the shape of you running around my brain. I'm taking off my show tonight. Turn off the flash, the neon sign. Crawl through the city till I find your side. I'm coming. Something about this music I hear, the way I make it up with you, the sound wants to carry through. Shine a light in my darkest hour, from the way down the rocky road that always leads me home to you. Stops your heart and takes your breath away. I feel the sorrow of a million tears, the evolution of a million fears. And when the world's on fire, there were days I couldn't make it along, but for the song. I'm taking off my show tonight. Turn off the flash, the neon sign. Crawl through the city till I find your side. I'm coming. I'm coming. Look for the light on the other side, and even though I can't see you yet, I get as close as I can get, because I wanna be strong enough to believe I am enough. I'm taking off my show tonight. Turn off the flash, the neon sign. Crawl through the
Live here at the stage, sounds of Shovels on Rope doing the show off their new album. Just came out, about a month and a half so back, Manticore. Welcome, first of all, to WTJU.
Happy to be here. Thanks.
Thrilled to get you in here ahead of that big show at the Jefferson. And for those who don't know the actual artists up there, except for the name Shovels and Rope, that would be Carrie Ann Hurst and Michael Trent. And I want to welcome you both to our stage. And let's just talk for those who are tuning in and maybe don't know the history of Shovels and Rope. Let's talk about the name of the band, first of all.
Well, the name of the band is actually, we extracted it from the first recordings that we made together. It was originally titled Carrie Ann Hurst and Michael Trent, and the record that we made was called Shovels and Rope, and it was a series of songs that we kind of wrote one off the other, and they told a narrative of, like, you know, a lot of hangings and murders and a lot of shovels and ropes might have been involved. Subsequently, that's what we titled ourselves. And once we hit the road and committed to this, needed to have a name, we slapped that on it, and because it kind of sounded like two things that were useful in a pinch, and we just stuck to that.
Now, is this the kind of music you all grew up listening to, or did you kind of come up with your own sound based on an amalgamation of different things?
I feel like it just happened kind of naturally. It's just, you know, all of our tastes and influences leading up to now. I mean, they've changed even in the past 10 years. You're always kind of changing like that. But
we'd be amalgamating, though. It's definitely an
we'd be amalgamating. We both of our Carrie's stepdad and my dad were both bluegrass mandolin players, and I think Doug, Carrie's stepdad, was he's a little bit more on the songwriting, into the songwriting aspect of it, and my dad was more of just like a player, and he was just like a player, not like a playa. He was just like a player, a picker, and but we both got a lot of, you know, like a lot of knowledge from our family about music and what we liked and what we didn't like, and that was like some of the early influences.
Yeah, we're very much influenced by Michael not liking the bluegrass and loving the Kinks and the Beatles and a lot of like the English rock and roll stuff that came.
I did not like bluegrass. I didn't hate bluegrass. It was just like one of those things, you know. It's like your dad is forcing something on you and
forcing you to go to the bluegrass festival.
Well, Sam Bush, the great mandolin player, has got a birthday today, and he was watching, but I see he just dropped off.
He did. We blew
Bye,
it.
Sam.
Bye,
See
Sam. He never
Sorry
liked
about
us
that.
anyway.
Those just checking us out, we've got Shovels and Rope here on the stage at WTJU. They're in Charlottesville this night, the 13th of April, for a concert over at the Jefferson. Then they've got a day off as they make their way to Haw River Ballroom and I'm going to let you say that name.
Saxapahaw,
North Carolina, and then they're going to be closing things out in Wilmington at one of your favorite spots, you said.
Yeah, it's a little amphitheater. It's a little lovely spot right by a river full of alligators. It's really fun.
That's the Greenfield Lake Amphitheater. There, you can see all the details on that at shovelsandrope.com. Well, can I get another one from you?
Shall we? All right, let's do it. Collateral Damage.
The Collateral Damage, yeah.
How many songs are we doing?
As many as I can get you before I have to drive you back.
Yeah, we're prepared for 4. If
all right, well,
we know 4.
We know 4.
All right, well, we'll see what we can do.
Collateral damage, crowd control. Not sure who paid, not sure who stole. Somebody always pays when you get it on the cheap. So we stopped having babies and we stopped eating meat. They say I better learn to be a good wife and make everyone a comfortable life. You're stuck on the wheel like a circus mouse, throwing rocks out of the windows of your glass house. I get a little hazy on the detail, how the whole thing went off the rails. it got pretty slippery in the deep end. I crawled out of my skin and started over. Walking around like a shadow is a person I used to know. Like getting launched into deep space in nothing but a nightshirt and a neck brace. I get a little hazy on the detail, how the whole thing went off the rails, and it got pretty slippery in the deep end. I crawled out of my skin and started over. It made me feel a little seasick, that it all came down to a carnival trick. Hanging my head out the window, we can't look back, now we got miles to go. I'm getting a little hazy on the detail, how the whole thing went off the rail, and it got pretty slippery in the deep end. I crawled out of my skin, I crawled out of my skin, I crawled out of my skin and started over.
Live here at the stage at WTJU, sounds of Shovels and Rope doing Collateral Damage. Another one that you can find on a brand new album, Manticore, just out this February. You can find that at all the usual suspects, and even pick up a copy, I'm sure, at the Tonight Show or anywhere else Shovels and Rope might be playing. Check out the website, shovelsandrope.com, to see where they are playing. And I should point out, while the two of them are trading back and forth on the guitar, they're going to have the full setup at their show tonight and everywhere else they're going to be going. But let's talk about, did both of you grow up playing guitar when you were younger, or what was your first instrument for you?
It was piano for me. I got really fascinated with playing Christmas songs on the piano, and I had a little Christmas book, and that was just like,
It's wholesome.
well, looking back at it now, it feels like it was meditative, back then. It was like a little place I could go and just sort of be quiet and sort of get lost in some of these groovy Christmas tunes.
Mm-hmm. And have you written some Christmas songs of your own to add to the Christmas canon?
Yes.
Christmas canon?
Yes.
We've got some good ones.
We have at least one, right?
What about Christmas? What's the difference?
That's the only one that I was thinking of, yeah.
All right.
It's Christmas. What's the difference?
It's Christmas, what's the difference?
Look it up.
Look it up.
Hey, shovelsandrope.com or anywhere you can find it. And how about for you? Was guitar
I
yours?
also started on the piano.
Okay.
My mom, it was just me and her for a long time, and she got me a piano when I was 6. And she was, she knew what was happening here. And so I got to pick on that. My stepfather, when I was 10, gave me a guitar. And that was what I pretty much fooled with. I didn't even touch. I was intimidated by drums and didn't really approach them until necessity dictated that we take turns holding a downbeat in the bars. And then drums came into it, and I've kind of aspire to improve in that, but because I'm making a living doing that, And then
Absolutely.
Now we have the accordion sometimes,
Ooh.
much to the chagrin of my husband.
Well, it's, yeah,
We're not
Whatever.
committing to that. I'm pushing us in that direction, and Michael's.
but it is only we only have it up there for like one song, maybe
For now.
maybe 2 songs.
The accordion is
for the
gonna
people that
remain
don't
lying
know,
down.
we do have, since Peter was talking about the full setup, we could
Yes.
explain what the full setup is we have a minimal drum kit, kick and snare. One of us is playing that, one of us is playing guitar. There's a piano up there, and we kind of run around and switch up who's playing what per song. And it's pretty loud. It's louder than you think.
Yeah, it's loud folk music. Loud though.
Well, I want to talk about the definition of folk music in a little bit, but let's talk about, in the first chat, we were talking about how the name Shovels and Rope came to be when you were trading back and forth. And I'm curious, are you still writing independently of each other, or are you mostly writing together at this point?
So life together and with our children has kind of necessitated a different writing strategy. But it kind of works with what we do anyway. We both write independently of each other most of the time. And then we get a babysitter and spend a certain amount of time, as much time as we can garnish at a certain point in the year, putting all of our ideas in a pile and going through them, and anything that's not finished or that we want to share with the other person. And we kind of work together on a pile of ideas. But we're always have to write independently, and when it's time to put our heads together, we have to call in the support. We have to get the support crew in, so that because we're at a spot in our lives with like 2 small children, where we need a lot of support to be actually able to create anything together.
Now, are we running into? You mentioned your interest in the Beatles, where John Lennon and Paul McCartney oftentimes had their own names on there. Even like Yesterday was really a McCartney tune. How are we crediting the songs? Once one of you may have started it, but then it becomes the joint collaboration. Is it a co-write at that point, or is one of you still?
Yeah, with this thing, I mean, it's like we don't care. We just put it all together. Like everything is credited to both of us, even if one of us wrote it. None of that really matters to us.
I can't even remember sometimes like what I wrote and what you wrote, because you know what I mean. I hope that you always can remember things better than me anyway. But yeah, so we're definitely that's kind of how we roll. I mean, because we're one thing. We're like a married family thing.
It's the same bank account.
Yeah.
Harkening back to the genre you're not a big fan of, bluegrass. Bill Monroe with his Bluegrass Boys.
How you like the wheels on the bus I threw you under? Does that feel
used
good,
to
babe?
take the songs that his band members wrote and then take credit for them himself. And Flatt and Scruggs started putting their wives' names as the writers of the song, so that Monroe couldn't do that. So,
that's
you don't
cool.
have that issue.
No.
It's respect. Just yeah.
Well, those just checking us out, we've got Shovels and Rope here at the stage at WTJU on this 13th day of April, and they will be at the Jefferson Theater this very night. Show starts at 8 o'clock. Check out shovelsandrope.com for all the details on that. And, of course, we've got a link to the Jefferson's website over at WTJU.net as well. Then they're going to have a couple shows coming up this Friday and Saturday in North Carolina. You can see all those details, again, at shovelsandrope.com. Ready for another one?
Yeah. We'll sing you this song. This is actually kind of a love song to our kids, and it's a lot. We do a lot of parenting. We were like mostly in this season of our lives, it's parenting nonstop, and then we put like our nice shirt on and go and play the show, and then just get right back into it afterwards. So. This song is about the filling up that you get from your kids. Like they fill you up with whatever it is, love, something, and then they suck it all out of you, suck you dry. So this is called "Bleed Me," and this is for our kiddos.
It's not as good as you don't have a laugh track. You could have it with
Well, I just like
it's still good.
in the back of my mind to the tip of my spine, from before there was time to the corners of my eyes.
You are the best part. Roll the dice, lightning strike twice. From a song in the night till the sun opens up his eyes. You are the best part of my full heart.
Live here at the stage, sounds of Shovels and Rope doing Bleed Me from their brand new album, Manticore. Find all the details on that over at shovelsandrope.com. And of course, if you're in Charlottesville on this 13th day of April, make sure you head out to the Jefferson where their concert kicks off at 8 o'clock this very night. Then they're going to be in North Carolina on Friday and Saturday. They're going to be at the Hall River Ballroom. And one more time, the pronunciation of that town?
Saxapahaw.
And then Saturday, they're going to be at the Greenfield Lake Amphitheater in Wilmington, North Carolina. Of course, they've got lots of gigs coming up down the road as well. So keep checking out shovelsandrope.com. And, of course, You wrote that song for your kids, so that brings up the question, thinking about maybe someday writing an album for the younger set?
It's funny you should mention that, Peter, because over the pandemic break, before we got our Manticore finishing out, we actually wrapped and released Shovels and Rope, Busted Juice Box Volume 3, which is our little collaborative record,
Right.
the project that we do. And we did it with kids in mind.
Okay.
It's usually Busted Jukebox, but
Right.
we were sitting around the kitchen and I realized that juice box sounded like jukebox, and immediately we started to conceptualize like what kind of weird but interesting children's record we could make that's really for the grown-ups, but it's cool for the kids. It's like speaks to how to talk to your kids or stuff.
Some
they
of
need to
them
know.
are kids songs,
Some
and
are
some
kids.
of them are less so. Like there's a song from Mother Earth and Father Time.
Oh yeah, from Charlotte's
from
Web.
Charlotte's Web, and there's like
You did the Ants Go Marching In, but it sounds like something Tom Waits had a nightmare about.
it was making Oscar laugh the way that
Yeah.
it was coming together. So,
It did.
anyways, yeah. So yeah, we do. We
Yeah.
kind of do.
We nailed it.
And all right to mention some of the collaborators on this upcoming
Well,
release, or
So I love name dropping the collaborators because
Yeah.
it's like
Don't forget anybody.
well, I'll forget everybody. But so we got to play in my room with Sharon Van Etten. We got to do the Secret Sisters did Mother Earth and Father Time. Am I doing this right?
Yeah.
Looking at Melanie.
Well, I was like just waiting for Melanie to pull it up to make sure that
Oh.
that we didn't miss anybody. We did with M Ward. We did Little Buckaroo. We did with the Fleece Brothers. We did You Are My Sunshine. With Warren Treaty, we did Tomorrow from Annie.
Here comes our tour manager Melanie because she's like gonna make sure that. We did
But that's not on the kids record.
yeah, the kid, yeah.
Yeah.
There are tons of these things.
So, well, the
we
big
got
thing
records
is-
like this.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
out there.
Well, let's talk about all those records. You know, this is the 10-year anniversary of when you put that first one out, and that was
Joyful.
"Oh Be Joyful." So yeah, let's talk about the 10 years in between. What has it been like? Finding your own voices more and more with each one. What's the biggest change between "Oh Be Joyful" and Manticore?
It would be foolish if we didn't say just becoming human beings that our parents has made a huge shift. Just like, and that only it started 6 years ago in the 10. So of that 10, of more than half of that, we have been deeply sensitized by humanity, and like I feel like we're always trying to be the best human beings that we can be, and we're learning all the time how to be better human beings and trying to put that into our creative process and also into the child rearing. So that has made a huge difference. Sonically, not to speak on behalf, Michael produces all of our records and he does all the engineering because we have our lifestyle requires us to divide up the labor and get the jobs done, and that's not my sphere of interests even. And so Michael is, has spent tons of time just developing our sound and kind of walking us into interesting and new places that aren't just primarily roots based, which is kind of where my core strengths are. So that I think over the 10 years we've just had like a sonic journey and a songwriting journey, and learning to operate like a two-headed monster with 8 legs, or like a manticore, like how we named our record. Like it was like a beast, like we're a monstrous beast that's hard to kill,
And I'm curious, because you put all that effort, Michael, into the sound when you're in the studio, what's it like trying with just 2 people to take that on the road for a live performance and try to get as much of that in?
It's fun. It's another chance for us to just reimagine the songs. I feel like in this band particularly, the songs have a few different lives. It's like the initial creation of it, and then where it's just the song and maybe one instrument, and then we just make some decisions on how to record it and how to dress it up. What it's gonna seasonings to use, or like what kind of jacket it's wearing. and then that, that's what goes on the record, and then we have to decide, okay, well, now it's two of us. How are we gonna work? How are we gonna arrange these songs so that they're still exciting for the live, for the audience? And it's ever changing. It's always different. Even from tour to tour, we'll totally deconstruct and rearrange a song, which I feel like is really freeing for us, because there's not there's not four people in the band. There's not like we can sort of turn on a dime within the middle of a show and be like, okay, well, let's just let's start playing it like this now. Mm-hmm. And that's always been a blessing, I feel like, for this band, and the people go along with the they go along for the ride. I think that they like the unexpected nature of it, which is kind of a fun thing about live music.
So Carrie Ann might just pull that accordion out. You never know.
Oh, yeah.
Michael's already going to hide it away. I see that in his eyes.
I'm going to get really good at that accordion.
I support the accordion. I'm not an accordion hater. I'm really not I'm not a bluegrass hater. I'm not a hater.
I know. I have really painted my husband, and I have totally shared your Sonny. I didn't mean... Michael actually loves all the music.
I played accordion on the record.
And you're a killer bluegrass picker, as long as it's slow.
No.
You can play slowly.
I can play slowly.
You can play the mandolin. You have a mandolin.
I have one.
Well, I'm curious,
we have two mandolins.
Shovels and Rope, because you have found your own sound, and so what's that been like, in the start? It must have been a little tough trying to... How do you define yourselves, when you send it out to stations or to festivals or venues?
It just sort of came out that way. We both are, we've always liked music with harmonies in it, whether that's bluegrass music or whether that's the Beach Boys, and we both kind of have our own style, I guess, that we had brought initially to this thing. And now since we've grown together and I think we used to tell people that it was sloppy tongue because we were afraid to say, we just kind of deflected with humor. Yeah. Because we weren't that great at our instruments, but we could sing really well together. And so we would sort of, get whatever kind of instruments we're laying around and make an arrangement out of it.
And our sound was rootsier then too, because you were kind of studying folk music. Like that had got into your daily listening lexicon. You're like, we're listening to Townes Van Zandt and learning what kind of cool folk writing there is, and I feel like we had but as we have developed, there's been more, we've been able to be like as loud as we want to be, and that was freeing for me because I always wanted to be a rock and roll band, always wanted to write rock and roll songs, and I'm attracted to like simple pop rock and roll hooks and music. It's what I listen to and get excited about, but it's not what I write the best. So
I feel like our
get into that some.
They're when you strip everything back, they're all folk songs really. Anyways, it's like kind of what we do.
Yeah, tell a story.
Yeah,
it's not so much oh baby baby hey baby come on baby let's go baby. All right.
And it doesn't matter what it's dressed up like, It can be loud or it can be with a more organic instrument, or you can play a folk song. I feel like with a synth or with an electric guitar. I don't think it matters.
It's very convenient for us that it doesn't matter.
Well, I think I read this is as close to heavy metal as you can get, but still remain the Americana act that you are.
I like that.
I'll take it.
Yeah. Well, those just tuning in and checking us out, this is Shovels and Rope. Carrie Ann Hurst and Michael Trent up there on the stage here at WTJU on this 13th day of April. They're going to be at the Jefferson Theater tonight at 8 o'clock, and then they've got their tour progressing all the way through Saturday night, and then they be home for a few days to let the kids do what they do, and then they'll be, of course, the kids are with you on this tour, I should point out.
Always.
We left the windows down on the tour bus, so
we tied them up, tied them to the back of the
you gotta
trailer.
We put the lids on the cribs, but we left the windows open.
Yeah, they're in the loving arms of the crew.
Keep checking out shovelsandrope.com to see where they are playing, and I think I see that you're heading back to Europe.
Yes, very excited. That we get that opportunity again. Gonna run around Scandinavia a bit, and then a bit of the old EU and then touch of the old UK.
Mm-hmm.
And some festivals, always a good time. They get down. Europeans get down real hard at music festivals. It's pretty great.
Well, I've got more questions, but how about we get another one from you?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah. We'll play this ramped up folk song about James Dean's ghost.
Tap my feet. You like that?
September 30, 1955, grease sticking to my hair, sticking to my thigh. Got that sweet silver spider, got that sugar in my eye. Gonna push her till she's smoking, gonna break her 85. Tie fire, pumping up the smoke. Firecracker strapped to a can of coke. A squealing, a wheeling, a speed and a choke. Immortal, cause America can't ever let me go. Did I die last night? Am I walking around? I'm here, but not me. I'm a ghost. I'm a domino. I'm a domino. Iconic, supersonic, 50s America, you know you want it.
I'm Jimmy Starr. I'm out the door.
I'm out the door.
That's what they say. They say they leave them wanting more, more, more on the mood of your booty generation. I'm you. I'm what you're chasing. I'm the face that freewheeling dealers making. You are the girls and the boys and their parents' hearts racing. Did I die last night? Am I walking around? I'm here, but not me. I'm a ghost. I'm a domino. I'm a domino. Four 66, 545, 54. I hit the side. I'm DOA. Give me the lasso. Guess I get Paul Newman to play Rocky Graziano. I'm the mood of your broody generation. I'm you. Yep. I'm what you're chasing. I'm the face that freewheeling dealers making. You are the girls and the boys and the parents' hearts racing. Did I die last night? Am I walking around? I'm here, but not me. I'm a ghost. I'm a domino. I'm a domino.
Live here at the stage at WTJU, Domino from Shovels and Rope on their brand new album Manticore. And you can pick a copy up here on this 13th day of April if you're over at the Jefferson Theater at 8 o'clock. And, of course, check out where else they're going to be playing at shovelsandrope.com. And before that song, we were talking about your European tour. And I'm curious, obviously the world came to a halt 2 years ago. And so the pandemic set upon us. And what you said that you talked about recording that new album, the one for the kids, and then of course Manticore came out of it as well. But is that what kept you busy the last couple of years, or were you finding gardening or sourdough bread making?
Yes.
Yeah, we did a little bit of all the things. I watched a lot of Rick Steves Europe at 3 o'clock in the morning. What else? Definitely gardened, killed and resurrected multiple house plants. But mostly just taking advantage of the time that we had at home, because we never have ever had that much time at home consecutively ever, and our children have never been that long at home ever. And so while there was so much upheaval and awfulness, we did have the opportunity to just be a family at our house, and that was an incredible gift. in a sea of suffering.
Yeah. And we did get to, we should mention Jeremy Albino will be at the show tonight. He's on this tour with us.
Mm-hmm. The
kid, yeah, he's great. And I got a chance to produce music for him remotely. We had done a tour together in the beginning of 2020, right before everything got bad. And then we just kind of stayed friends. He was supposed to come by and see our studio, and it didn't happen because the pandemic like started that day, and or at least like the lockdown portion started, and so we just stayed in touch, and then we ended up passing tracks back and forth, and got to be a part of making his new EP. So that kept me busy.
Well, Michael, I'm going to mention a name you may not know. I suspect you do. Jerry Douglas. I'm sure you know Jerry Douglas as well. Great dobro player. But I chatted with him fall of 2020 and said, so what have you been up to? He goes, for the first time in 50 years, I'm out on the road. So I said, I've got so many honeydew projects and my own recording side stuff that I can do. So he said, I'm kind of digging this right now. And
yeah.
and he was able to do a lot of things he couldn't have otherwise. So.
I see that. I can see that. I mean, it was a terrible thing, is a terrible thing that is happening, but I do feel like the silver linings, people got to, I mean, what else could just put the brakes on the whole world and make you change something about yourself?
Clearly, there's been some kind of besides intense mortality and illness, there's been a seismic shift in thinking of people and the way that they're prioritizing their time and their lives and what they're willing to do and the wage for which they're willing to do it. And I think that it's like a growing pain and a shift, but it's gonna come out better on the other side with this perspective we've had.
What's been great, I think, is the listeners, the fans were out there throughout it supporting a lot of the artists that they loved. But now that live music's back out there, they're just as excited to be there at the shows as you are. So this is a great opportunity because the energy is renewed after this time of being quelled down for so long.
It does feel like that. In perspective, it's just like when you don't know what you got. Honestly, there's that crazy movie that's out right now that Don't Look Up. Yeah. And they're all sitting around the dinner table, and the world's about to explode, and I think Leonardo DiCaprio's character is like, we really did have it all. It's true.
Yeah.
Well, I know we talked about 4 songs. I don't know if you got a 5th one. That's okay if you don't. That's fine.
We can do it. Yeah, sure. We could do Birthday. I don't have a heart, but we could just do Happy Birthday without it.
Can we just do the short and make the turnaround maybe short?
We'll make the short version.
All right. Well, let's go.
So this is a song called Happy Birthday. It's from the perspective.
Happy Birthday Who?
Happy Birthday Who? It's from the perspective of a person, an unhoused person in California, like in Skid Row.
I wasn't born to be anything. People pass me, they look at the ground. This is just temporary, since the hospital closed down. I came here in the 80s. Today's my birthday. Can I have $5? How do you like my town? The weather here is perfect. It hardly ever rains. Someone took my shoes while I was dreaming of your face. Happy birthday. I'm living in a dream. And my head is like an earthquake, and it's ripping at the seams. There are people in my head. Some are nice, but most are mean. They're giving me advice while I'm walking down the street. They tell me to make faces. They tell me to scream.
but they mostly say I'm worthless and I don't deserve a thing. I'm stretched out in the park, the kids are playing chase. Someone took my shoes while I was dreaming of your face. Happy birthday, who was it that I was? And I'm singing like a toothache, and I'm smiling just because. Happy birthday, I'm living in a dream. Happy birthday to me.
Live here at the stage at WTJU. Happy Birthday Who from Shovel and Rope's brand new album Manticore. And this being the 13th of April, I should say, as we're in Charlottesville, happy birthday, Thomas Jefferson.
Happy birthday, TJ.
And in fact, as a way of celebrating his birthday, I encourage you to head out to the Jefferson this very night and catch Shovels and Rope with a show that starts at 8 o'clock, and their friend
Jeremy Albino.
will be kicking things off for him. And keep checking out shovelsandrope.com to see where they might be playing, maybe in your neck of the woods. Well, I want to thank both Carrie Ann and Michael for stopping by WTJU, and we look forward to seeing you the next time.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
And we're going to send things back to the studio.